Isn't that the truth, Mr. Allman Brothers? Isn't that true? I think I said Allman Brothers, but it's Allman Brothers. Hey everyone! I have part 2 of Welcome to Wham City here right for you. So I did say part 2 again, right? So that means you obviously listened to part 1 yesterday, right? I really hope you did. Great episode, a good time with Wham, So good we had to do 2 episodes. Ah, happy about that, are we? I'm still on vacation here in the Outer Banks. Last night my father-in-law accidentally ate some ice cream with peanuts in it. Didn't go well for him. He had to get helicoptered to another city for his issue. Brought back some trauma from my own dad. Also, I'd be a little mad about my wife because she's gonna steal all my grief attention. Already? Come on, my dad just died in January. Geez, let me have at least a good sad Christmas. Yeah, but he seems to be doing well now. Seems to be doing fine. And now we have this whole house, just my family and my brother-in-law, and it's quiet. It's quiet. So I was gonna go to the beach with my kids, my wife, but since this whole peanut thing, I'm just so stressed out and triggered that I just need to just be alone. Be alone with my thoughts in this microphone. And provide you all with this second episode. Hello, it's not going to provide itself, duh. But we talked a lot about in our first part episode with Wham, didn't we? We did. You can see that we have quite the history of together with chicken fingers involved. We've known each other for a long time. Listen, I think she's going to be a regular, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed it. It was really fun. She is the first digital guest. Technology, right? It's not, remember, this is not a blog, right? This is a podcast. We can still combine forces with voices instead of comment on posts that no one will see. Well, don't skip because there's a big announcement coming. We'll see. Maybe I'll do an outro for this too. All right. Enjoy part 2 of Welcome to Wham City. Alrighty. So, justiceforshellie.com. We kind of touched on this a little bit with Zlo, but I think you're best to educate everyone about how terrible it was. What was going on with justiceforshellie.com all those years?
So, academic question: do you know when that was actually started? What year?
I believe actually 2010, 11ish.
Oh, okay. I was. That sounds about right. It looks like it was made with GeoCities.
Yeah. So
the formatting was god awful.
2003 is giving 2003, right? I mean,
yeah, and it was a blog, more or less. I would say.
Yes, a blog.
And the only person who could post in there was Clark Kent, and then there was also
Miranda Rights.
Was she allowed to post in there?
Yeah, she was. She was like the vice. Okay.
Well, didn't he have a Lois Lane too, though?
Yes. We haven't touched on her yet.
Okay. So, using pseudonyms to post by, but you could tell an old person was running it because the worms in his brain were writing the entries.
Pseudonyms only for his friends, though, not for the other suspects or anyone else.
So basically, imagine the ugliest website you've ever seen. It was just a plain white background. no headers, no tags. Everything's the same color and the same size, and it looks like you just type something up in WordPad. But I do want to say, I think occasionally he would highlight like initials or something purple or red. I could be wrong.
Yeah. That was a big deal, though. If that was going down, it was important.
But you could tell. So here's the problem with that. Well, there's a lot of problems with that. But the number one problem is that he was the keeper of all of the information. So it's impossible to tell based on what was published on the blog, what was coming from a substantive place of, I have this real evidence, or some crazy person sent me an email and said that this is what happened, because there's no distinction.
Right, let me copy paste and just put in there. No context.
It was giving like gossip column.
Yeah.
It was like a little birdie told me that
they didn't see BB or CQ that night at blah blah blah. Right?
And then it got to the point too where, I don't know if you remember this, that he was posting people's like criminal records, and he was like, "Oh, this person got arrested. They're a person of interest." So it seems like he was posting what my grandma would say, every fart that flew. So it's like anything anybody told him, he was like, yes, this goes on the blog. You case in point, we knew when you and Slow went there that you would automatically be in the blog.
Yeah.
Because it was literally anything. You could be any person off the friggin' street who gets into that blog, and you could just send him whatever, and he would publish it. So there was millions of posts. It's very difficult to pick through. He was accusing real people with their real initials.
Yeah.
But there was no real information in it. We dug through that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you said, hard to say what was real, what was a rumor, what was, anything.
Brainworms.
Yeah.
And then we did figure out who you and Zlo did figure out who most of the initials were. Again, I famously was not a participator in high school, so I don't.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you don't think the killer's going to come for you? No, you helped. You helped a good amount. All right, I got the Discord records to prove it.
I don't even remember what I did. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you might want to look that up.
Well, gee, Ollie, I was just on here recording a podcast with my phone.
I had no idea.
I really don't remember. Because here's my thing. I'm a lot of true crime all the time, baby. So
yeah, you're OG true crime before
thank you.
Me. Before even before society, for female society, really got into true crime.
Yeah, that's why I think, to me, I'm just like, ugh. So I've investigated so many murders.
Yeah, you're like this one. Come on, where's the meat? Where's the potatoes?
I am, though, kind of like, there is just, I can't believe somebody else, because we have a certain amount of information from just existing in the area, in that high school, in the graduating class, digging through that blog, knowing people who know things and start rumors and whatever. And I can't believe somebody that isn't us had enough information to there's one podcast episode, because there's no information out there at all whatsoever.
You can see there's about, I would say there's about 4 or 5 other podcasts that have touched on this episode.
Oh yeah, but one of them's on Medium.
Yes, that is. Hey, she's local, all right? Let's not talk too much. I might need her. Just from our optics and ticked. She's from Virginia Beach. The Medium's from Virginia Beach. I just want to let you know, I also wanted to shut her several times and have restrained, just because of the potential lulls that could provide me.
Lulls? Who cares?
Yeah, of actually interacting with her in person.
Would she gonna send the spirits after you?
Okay, so once you listen, you'll see that her thing was basically, she read the blog and was like, I think this happened. I'm like, okay, that's exactly what the blog said, but that's what you felt in your fingies.
That's the problem, I guess, is it's just like all hearsay. Even the blog was hearsay. And I know people, I remember I spoke to a friend of mine that knew them, and the people that Shellie, and the people that she hung out with. And she was like, here's the rumor I always heard. There's a running joke about a classmate of ours having done it that I don't even think is serious. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're gonna do here, but I just Googled her to see like what even pulls up on Google, as I'm sure that was. Have you done that yet?
Well, I mean, that's a great. Yes, of course.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of a search engine, but I just typed.
Yeah, I just asked Jeeves.
She's in the cold case
and edged.
And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you say again? She's in the cold case. What?
Database of Virginia.
Yeah.
There's a news story from 2020.
Yeah, that's the update that they gave. That's the one I was quoting last episode.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are the details?
She had a lot of partners. There was a rose and some beer and a cigarette butt, but that could have just been a coincidence.
Well, yeah, people throw shit out their window. Who is also, this person who said this, who is this?
That is the cold. Yeah, the cold case detective. Finelli.
This sounds like he's just trying to say, well, he shouldn't have gone out dressed like that.
That's what I'm saying. That was my whole point of the last episode. Was that
putting all of the responsibility?
Yeah. No blame on Virginia. Like, what do you want us to do, man? Like, she was
could have been anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have just
exactly. Yeah, they might as well have just wrote that.
Breaking news. Could have been anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Because she got around a lot of friends.
Did she have a web sleuths?
Yes, she did, and that got shut down early. We didn't even get a chance to explore that because that got shut down before we cared.
Did you try the Wayback Machine?
So I tried the Wayback Machine for the blog, Justice for Shellie, but you guys also need to know this, listener. He had to approve every potential login, so there's nothing in the Wayback for justiceforshelley.com because it's just the front page. It's all gone, right?
It really is. We made accounts in there.
Yeah, we have some stuff, but not we have no access to everything anymore.
I knew that after you and Zlo went there and spoke to him, it's just a matter of time, right? Before you are honored with your own blog post.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm kind of sad. I don't remember what it said anymore. Do you?
Yeah, he could have just. We knew this was a certainty because he could have been like, today I met a dog at the ocean.
Yes.
Like, it made me think, blah, blah, blah.
I tripped on 2 shells at the beach. And that reminded me of Shellie, yes.
He was like, this is a summary, obviously. And I also was not there. But the blog said, 2 classmates of Shellie's, came to me today. I want to say he phrased it like asking for permission or his blessing and for information. And he was like, it's this new thing called a podcast. And you could tell even in the blog post that he still didn't understand what a podcast was.
Right.
And then he was also like, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Like...
Right. Hey, fans out here, comment.
But that was the thing of the blog, too. I was like, who is reading this other than us?
Yeah.
And then do you recognize me all those accounts? I was like, you should let him do it. I love podcasts. Yeah. But you wouldn't even
with the mustache. You with the cap on, right? You with the hat on, right?
Yeah, the comments wouldn't even post until he approved them.
Yeah.
Were there any juicy comments like, you better watch out?
There was one, I believe. It was from Shellie's boyfriend, the last boyfriend she had. I think he got really big in the comment section, and that's what really started the whole, police getting involved and asking to stop, is because people were fighting. You know what I mean? Like, people were accusing each other. It gets wild in the comments. Like any social media, you got to shut that shit down quick. He let that shit go. Unmoderated. Right.
Well, and this was the internet was a different place. Even 15 years ago. So I feel like I don't know how. I think he didn't get in any serious trouble because that blog was so unserious.
Yeah.
Just the ramblings of an old man. Like, you can't take that to court.
I believe the police just said, like, can you stop? I mean, it was like do you mind if you...
Yeah, but then he wrote about them, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
He was like,
mad
2
shit about the
detectives
plaza.
was hitting me today. I
These
must.
motherfuckers wanna.
So that's disappointing that that's gone, even though it might be for your benefit, because I think we spent a lot of time on that and it was just ramblings. There was no consequential information in there.
Well, can I tell you a secret then?
And
So I try to, because Slow did not let us get the under the tree. She let that lapse, drop the ball, right, Slow? And so I was like, okay, let me just go buy underthetree.com, right? But um, it's gone now. And even though they did suggest Under the Lawn, which is rude.
nope.
Rude as fuck. Yeah. Swipe that away immediately.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, gone. So I want to let you know that here at Dr. IBS Entertainment Group, we are now the proud owners of justiceforshellie.com.
Oh, wow. It's like a full circle. Well, you know what? This is what I want to say to you, and I mean this sincerely, is that I feel like this is like a curse. Like he laid down the monkey's paw and now you have to because that shit consumed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It also weird because it wasn't even his thing to start with and he didn't know her, but whatever. And now I feel like slowly but surely you are going down the same path of insanity. And now you've got the blog. So it's like, what are we doing here?
You're going to see there's someone else is going to come up to me in 50 years like, Mr. Bryce.
Yeah,
could you give us the papers you have?
We want to make a retina show about.
Yeah, right. What is a retina cast?
Well, what are you going to do with that website?
So first to talk on the website, I want to say I do feel like I relate to Mr. Clark Kent in a way, and this is the way. That Mr. Clark Kent's son died in a car accident when I think this is like he was just like driving age, like a young high school guy. His kid died, right? And then my dad died in an accident. So it does feel kind of way like you lost someone you love and you had no control over. You know what I mean? So it's like, can I get control over something like this? It's kind of like a way to like clean shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, like I feel like okay, that nothing we could do about that, right? Whatever, you crashed, you fell, but with this we could maybe, you know what I mean, do something that's
but it's gonna
has a better ending than just like, well, bad luck, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's gonna be like you're gonna have to do some shit, dude.
I'm already in it. I'm ready.
Well, we can't I'm happy to come on here and shoot the shit with you. I'll do whatever, but we should get that evidence, man.
Like I said again, not trying to solve, right? Not.
No, yeah, but there's only. What are you gonna have 20 episodes about people being like talking about it?
So listen, I don't know. What do I gotta do this next year to get the Shellie Carson trending on Netflix documentary? I mean, what do we need to do for that?
So okay. Let me get this right. You want to do enough work to get somebody else to do the hard work. Like the most millennial shit ever.
I know, right? You build the base
podcast until someone
then you leave.
Doesn't work for me. Did you say
exactly?
Can I leave?
Yeah, like why don't you get y'all get some New York Times motherfuckers on here, and just write me that check, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, here's the thing: what are they gonna do? There's no path forward.
Nothing. I mean, we're closer to than anyone. I mean,
which isn't saying much.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Like I said, I talked to that one partner today, and I was kind of being very professional. Like, okay, like you gotta think about it, whatever, blah blah. I'll talk to the brother, blah blah. But then he just kept revealing stuff to me. Like, and then he started talking about his own theories, and like, I already said stop. You know what I mean? I was like, we're good. Yeah. Kept going. So
will that person report with you?
He wants me to get Shelley's brother's blessing first.
Well, did you get Shelley's brother's phone number?
I did. You think of course I asked for that. I said, could you help a brother out? He told me to go look in the obituary. I'm like, fuck you, mother.
Whose
You know,
obituary is he reading? Like, and she is survived by her uncle, phone number, area code
yeah, I
757,
know. Oh,
P.O.
thank you
Box.
so much. Thank you. Yes, when I've already heard, he's changed his name legally, but he did
Oh,
give me a
for
clue
real?
about what his career is. Yes, he did give me a big clue on what his current career is.
So, do you think that's intentional to distance himself from this?
Oh, yeah, changing his name completely. Yeah, because he was even saying to me, like, imagine how you would feel if you're only, people only want to talk to you because of, what happened to your sibling. You know
So
what I
you're
mean? Kind of like forever middle child. Like he was trying to give me empathy for the brother too. Like I'm like, I get that. I definitely understand that. But yeah, so
yeah, I mean, I just hope that you keep pursuing leads, but I hope also you recognize when you've found all the leads that you can, and you got to wrap it up.
right, season 2 of Who Pushed My Dad or Who Killed Yours.
I know.
Uh,
I was like,
uh,
I thought it was a little funny that you were like, I can't control this, but I can control solving this murder. As my actual father, this is a true story, is a murder victim, unsolved murder.
yeah, yeah.
So, by virtue of your thinking, I can control that, right? If we're applying the same sort of logic, right? Like,
Uh-huh,
I might be able to
uh-huh.
control the outcome of the Shellie thing. I might be able to control the outcome of what happened to my dad. Very different situations. I have a very different level of access to information even about that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um and I really did try for a while, and if there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So did you feel like you did that? Like you dug as far as you could, or?
for right now, because I can't access any of the police records, which is another thing. Did you do a Freedom of Information Act? I keep saying you got to do the FOIA, bro.
I did not, because when our last meeting with Mr. Clark Kent, he just kept talking about how his FOIAs were so failed.
Yeah, but he had worms in his brain.
Yes, I know. But we're back at it, baby. Okay, yes, FOIA is on the list.
Yeah, so I think if this is a podcast about mourning or honoring a person that you lost, then that's what it is. But
Right, we're taking control where we can take control. I mean,
yeah,
but this was not like I want to make this clear. This was not started because I'm a comedian. Let me see if this is another way to me to get into the Hall of Fame of Hollywood, or my dad died. Let me try to solve someone else's murder. This was right. You can confirm this was an idea started in 2018. Right. Just wanted people to keep remembering that this was before I was a comedian or anything else. But this was always an idea.
your shit. No, it was always your shit.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. I have concerns for the future of the pod. But you know what? If you do solve it someday, you can play that audio over like the beginning of the final episode, right?
Uh-huh.
Like
Right.
the naysayers.
You motherfuckers. You all saw I was. But actually, that's my own paranoia. I mean, no one's actually said that to me directly, but you know what I mean? I mean, no one's
Again,
called me out,
it's
It's
impossible to talk about the ethics of true crime. It just
uh-huh.
is.
Yeah.
Again, I come from a very informed perspective. I feel I knew and loved someone who was murdered, and I still consume a lot of true crime.
Uh-huh.
But like the true crime comedy, many have tried, many have failed.
You know what? There's other people have tried.
Yeah, have you heard of Serial? Serial wasn't funny at all.
Oh, yeah. That was a comedy. I missed that part.
Yes, Eric Koenig, she had the jokes. Yeah, that would be an interesting topic too, like why people like true crime.
Mm-hmm.
There's something obviously people like and have always liked. Like the name true crime is new, but people have always been like, think, well, like the Lindbergh baby and the Black Dahlia. People have always been into this.
Always. I mean, come on. Not too long ago, right? We were people were having picnics at hangings. We went to guillotines. You know what I mean?
It's
I mean,
true though.
think about it. Right. This is not Korea. Put this throw some tomatoes at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I think there's that aspect of this could happen to me, right? Which is why women love true crime.
Yeah. But I just so I have all sons, right?
Yeah.
And I go perspective. If I had all daughters, right? And I have 3 daughters, and the same thing applied. We're in the district at the same high school I went to, and all that, blah blah. I'm not okay with them hanging out in that neighborhood. I mean, of course it's a great neighborhood and everything. I'm just not okay with that happening there. Like, if this was my neighborhood, right? This is where I lived. And I just feel like you're all just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but people,
how could that not happen to your kid?
People get murdered all over the place.
But those usually are solved, or we know who did it.
Not always, though.
No, but I mean,
here's another thing I can tell you from my firsthand experience is that sometimes you do know who did it, and the police might even know who did it, but you just don't have the information to convict them.
Yes.
So
the detective does hint at that too in that last 2020 update as well. No, acknowledge, my brother, acknowledge. But I do get that technicality part. They might know right now, just don't have enough.
Yeah, I mean,
so many reasons.
Do you know what I mean? I know.
Right. They could do another crime in another state that's priority for, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Of course, there's a million reasons, but I mean, I think as the job of the police, right? It's like you want to make sure that your community feels safe, right? And that we've kept it safe.
Wasn't random, and I think
yes, that. Exactly. Remembering that crime of passion, right? It's not like, oh, look at that. Oh, yes, I just happened to be driving down at 4 a.m. in this secluded neighborhood. Yeah. And look what I found. We know that, too.
Yeah. Big man.
Don't forget, our 20-year high school reunion's coming up.
I told you, I don't identify as a FC graduate.
I told you, how many subscribers do we need before you agree to
go to that?
Yeah. So we can get our,
I'm not gonna like my number.
What's the number?
5,000.
5,000?
Yeah.
Oh, in a year? Okay.
Yeah, you should
shake hands on that. I've shaken hands on that.
Digitally, virtually,
shaking hands on that. Yeah. You heard this here first. 5,000 subscribers to this podcast.
5,000, because I would rather peel my own nail beds off than go to that.
So, you've listened to the previous episodes, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Unlike Slow, who was too busy, I appreciate that. That's why you were always the co-host.
I'm not the co-host.
That's what I mean before, in the yestertimes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
20. Exactly.
So, yes, I have listened to the previous episode.
Okay, is there anything you want to touch? Anything I missed specifically with the night of the murder? Anything you would think that's worth telling the public in more detail?
I think there's a little bit more detail that maybe you didn't go into for certain things. To me, the night in question is a long story.
Yeah.
She went here on her bike. She hung out with Aquaman at 7-Eleven.
Uh-huh. Yes, and you do mean Aquaman, because we here at New Justice for Shellie will not be using initials for people. We're going to go with the theme that Clark Kent started, and you're going to have a character name. Really
I want to go on record as not endorsing this plan, but
really
a superhero.
But listen, if you're Wolfman before Clark Kent, you're Wolfman. I'm sorry. I mean, Wolfman.
That's not a superhero. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I think that we could go a little bit more into detail the night in question, right?
I agree.
Have you posted on Reddit?
No, but there are several threads about
In the
Miss
Virginia Beach
Chrysler.
subreddit?
Mm, no.
Just a thought.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you can cover. Again, I think there's just like there's not that much information out there. I hope that changes. I do. I hope that you break the case, because I think just bringing awareness at a certain point, it's not the same as justice, right?
Of
As the
course
owner
not.
of justiceforshellie.com,
Yes, exactly. Of
it's not
course it's not.
awarenessforshellie.com.
Yeah, it's not awareness or let
I mean,
or
that's
don't
what you
forget
really
about
want,
Shellie.
right? At the end
I
of the
mean, isn't
day,
that what you want for your own dad?
that's a hot topic. I have a controversial take on that, which is like,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
Oh, God, not a hippie thing. Come on, we're trying to sell bucks. Do you want to do a tour on this shit or not?
What does justice look like for you in terms of Shelley's killer?
I mean, killer has no ability to kill anymore.
Like locked
At
up.
least the people we care about. I mean, you want to kill some other prisoners? Who gives a fuck? But you know what I mean? No normal law-abiding citizens. You have no ability to even interact with any more law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, I think it's just different, obviously, when it's personal to you. And Shellie, you knew her, but she's not your dad. So
yeah, no, I'm right. I'm just like a concerned citizen for like my neighbor, you know, my area, like my
that person is
protecting
not a threat
my
to society at large, I don't believe.
We don't know that.
I mean, they have a violent nature, obviously. I don't think most people, even in a crime of passion, would like snap like that. If that's something, maybe a good question for your guests. Like, if you could get one question answered about this, what would it be? I'm like, what was the thing that pissed that person off?
That was like the straw that broke the camel's back. You mean? Like that was like he's like, nah, this you done.
And we're operating in the pretense with a man, right? Because men.
Well, if you saw what I've seen, it's a man. I don't like to speculate. I will speculate that this is a man. This is a man. Watch out, ladies.
Yeah.
This is man. Yeah. This is China from the WWF or WWE, or this is a man.
Okay, yeah. I'm disconnecting this fall.
This is 3 Jillian Michaels stacked in a jacket or a man.
Who is this person, right? I think the one thing we know for certain is it wasn't her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Is that correct?
Police said that he's been ruled out. Mm-hmm.
So it's a man that was in her life that cared enough to do that.
Yeah. Right.
And it wasn't her boyfriend. So who the hell was it?
I know.
What was that
I know. These partners.
Not a stranger, I'll tell you that much.
That's I mean, everyone kind of says that. I mean, the people that don't tell me, they're like, oh, I'm just like, I can't. I mean, not saying it's not possible, right? I mean, come on, bad lucks. We all have some bad luck, right? But
what did that person
super
do?
unlike,
Yeah.
Right. And it's not. Don't forget, it was like they hid her body. You know what I mean? They knew that she was gonna get found as soon as the sun came up.
Well, I also have a theory on that. I think that they were like, "Oh, gotta go." I don't think that was. I also don't think that they intended to kill her. Probably. I also don't think it's somebody that we went to school with. I don't think it's somebody in our graduating class.
Right.
I think it was an older person, an older man.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Well, you can't account for what people do that other people don't even know about, right?
Yeah.
And in 2005, it's not as if you could go into a person's cell phone and download their entire life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're still using house phones back then, right?
Yeah, people were exchanging information that you could never access again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Instead of talking in person, have you heard of it?
I do remember the old days.
Yeah.
Meet me at so and so time.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the other thing is, do you think so? There was a big billboard put up that you'd previously discussed was low and
Uh-huh.
reward money. Who that was her family, correct?
Uh-huh.
So you do believe that her family was passionate about getting that justice for her?
Oh, I definitely do. I know her. The dad and the mom for sure. I mean, the brother, no shame to him or whatever you got to do. I've cut some people off in my own life
Well,
recently. I
he's
get it.
Burke
Um,
Ramsey, so
yeah, right, right. I get that. Whatever. No, but yeah.
because the only other thing I could say is like if this was there was a person or an element of her life that they were embarrassed by, do you think they would share it freely to get that justice?
I think over time, people will.
Okay, that's
I mean,
fair.
that's just that's it. I think people at the end of the day, you ever look up like people's top 5 most regrets that before they die on their deathbed?
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. One is keeping secrets. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I was myself. I wish I told people how I felt.
Yeah.
I wish that. So maybe might have to get to that point and solve this in 20 more years. Maybe it's just like I want to be free. Fuck it. Like, you know what I mean?
You know, like,
Yeah.
does she have any cousins? That's like people her age that would have heard things that her family was discussing, but that like it would be weird to me to reach out to
Right.
like her aunt.
Right. Well, I'm gonna look for biological mommy.
What's
At
she gonna
some
know?
just I want to know more of the backstory.
Oh, you're
Oh,
fleshing this out as a real
oh yes, I want the
genealogy ancestry
whole person, right? Because
star
about the
sign.
adopted stuff. Hey, were you on crack when you gave that baby up? You know what I mean? Like, what was going on in your life where you're like,
You're gonna have a hard time doing that, but
it's gonna
Godspeed.
be this whole thing is hard.
Yeah, I know because there's
Oh,
not enough information, but
right, yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
supportive. I hope that you find information.
thank you, and I hope everything
Let
works
me
out with your dad too for season 2.
uh,
Hmm?
no.
Huh?
Um.
No.
Well, first of all, we literally couldn't because it's still like it's not a cold case; it's active investigation technically.
Technically, this one is too, allegedly, even though it's not on the website listed.
Cold case website.
I know, right? But no, look on the 2020 thing that I posted a link to. It says
Well,
like this is open now again.
is
As
this
of
on the
2020, this is
website
supposed to be open again.
on the cold case website? Is
No,
this
on the code, not on the code, on the Wavy TV 10
no.
detective out of his mouth thing.
No, I've moved on to something else.
Okay.
Is this a real photo of her bike?
Yes. The black is black and pink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do we have a photo of her bike? Like, why were they like, here, you can have all the photos that you could have?
Right. Here's the bike photo.
Yeah.
That is sus,
Well, is
but
that like
that is
supposed to glean information from that? I don't know. You know what I mean?
yeah, but that is the image of the podcast now. So
Yeah. I think you
it
should.
worked. The influence worked. Though I was born a rambling man. See, I could have been the 4th Allman brother. I'm not sure how many there are. But I would be the brown adopted one. Hey, did you enjoy that episode? Did you? Oh, justiceforshellie.com belongs to I. It's not up yet. If you go look at that, it's just like some AI template that's in there. Because I need some help, y'all. I need some help with this web page. If you know anyone that can assist for free, that would like to be part of this, like I said, this is a call to the community. A call to the community. Don't forget, we are a broke ass podcast. I repeat again, We are a broadcast podcast, and we rely on the kindness of strangers here to help. So if you want to help with that web page, that'd be lovely. If you can make graphics, that'd be lovely. Hey, if you want to be a research assistant, that could be lovely too. Whatever you want to do to help out, help out. But again, really, I really want to talk to people that knew Shellie growing up. That's a goal, right? And if you're out there and you know about her, good, bad, all in between, we want the truth here at Under the Tree. That's what we want. We want to paint a true picture. Back when journalism was truthful, okay? There's no manipulation here. There's no end goal, really. Because really, if they're, what are we doing? I mean, come on, there's other projects. I mean, this, like I said, this is important to me. You heard Wham say, it's been my shit. All right? It's going to be my shit. All right? With whether I touch the monkey's paw or not, it's too late now. All right? This isn't me. All right? Clark Kent Jr., whatever. I gotta finish this out one way or another. So, please, though, if you are part of this community, if you were part of this community, if you care, please help out. Talk to me and help in any way you can, or just message me. How can I help Ian Bryce 3000? What do you need? That'd be nice too. It would be nice too, really, honestly. And I'm gonna say, any more about the theories that people give me, don't. Okay, now it has to stop. All right. I said I would take them, but now keep them unless you wanna say that. And come on, be a big boy or girl, and come on the mic and say that in front of everybody. Okay. All right. Unless you want to do that, go ahead. But I'll reach out to you, okay? If I need something from you, okay? You don't need to shoot your theories at me unless you got something good. I mean, you know what? I am a rambling man, aren't I? I will see you all next week. The kiddies go back to school, right? At least where we are. So that's either gonna be really good for my ADHD or really bad. It's a change, so probably for my, I know my autism isn't like that either way. So thank you all for listening. Please continue to support Under the Tree. I appreciate it. Shellie appreciates it. I know people that really do appreciate it. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye.